welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the world of urban farming and exploring how you can grow your own food even in the smallest of spaces. Urban farming isn't just a trend, it's a practical solution for city dwellers looking to enjoy fresh, homegrown produce and contribute to a more sustainable lifestyle. Whether you're working with a tiny balcony, a rooftop, or even just a sunny windowsill, there are countless ways to transform your urban environment into a thriving garden. In this video, we'll cover everything you need to know, from the different types of urban farming to practical tips for getting started and overcoming common challenges. So, if you've ever wanted to turn your urban space into a green oasis, stay tuned. We're about to show you how. Urban farming and conventional gardening both share the goal of growing plants, but they differ significantly in methods, challenges, and benefits due to the environments in which they are practiced. Understanding these differences can help urban gardeners adapt to their unique circumstances and make the most of their space. Starting an urban garden can be an incredibly rewarding venture, even if you're working with limited space. Whether you have a balcony, rooftop, patio, or just a sunny window, you can grow your own fresh produce and create a green oasis in the city. To get started, you'll need some essential supplies. First, choose the right containers, such as pots, planters, grow bags, buckets, and window boxes. Ensure these containers have drainage holes to prevent waterlogging, and choose sizes that are appropriate for the plants you intend to grow. For example, a 5-gallon bucket is ideal for tomatoes and peppers, while smaller pots can be used for herbs. Next, use high-quality potting mix rather than garden soil, as it is lighter, drains better, and is free of weeds and diseases. Adding compost or organic matter can enrich the soil and improve fertility. Watering is crucial, and you can use watering cans, hose attachments, drip irrigation systems, or self-watering planters to maintain a regular watering schedule. Remember, containers dry out faster than in-ground gardens, so check the soil moisture frequently. Light is another important factor. Most vegetables and herbs need at least 6 hours of direct sunlight daily, so place your garden in the sunniest spot available. If natural light is insufficient, supplement it with LED grow lights. Basic tools such as a hand trowel, pruners, watering can, and gloves are essential, and you might also find a soil moisture meter, pH tester, and small spade helpful. Fertilizing your plants regularly is important. Use organic options like compost, fish emulsion, and worm castings, and feed your plants every few weeks based on their specific needs. For beginners, starting with herbs such as basil, mint, parsley, and cilantro is a great choice. These herbs grow well in containers and require different levels of sunlight, making them versatile options. Leafy greens like lettuce, spinach, and kale are also easy to grow, thrive in containers, and are nutrient dense. When it comes to vegetables, tomatoes and peppers are popular choices for pots, while radishes and carrots can be grown in deep containers. For fruits, strawberries do well in hanging baskets or pots, and dwarf citrus trees are perfect for patios or balconies. To ensure success, start small with a few containers and easy-to-grow plants to avoid feeling overwhelmed. Gradually expand your garden as you gain more experience and confidence. Regular maintenance is key, including consistent watering, daily checks for pests and diseases, and regular pruning to encourage healthy growth and airflow. Optimize your space by using vertical gardening techniques like trellises and wall planters, and consider tiered plant stands or hanging baskets. Rotate your crops each season to prevent soil depletion and reduce the risk of pests and diseases. Engage with the gardening community by joining local gardening groups or online forums for support, advice, and sharing experiences. Participating in community gardens can also be a great way to access more space and connect with fellow urban gardeners. By following these guidelines, you'll be well on your way to creating a thriving urban garden and enjoying the fresh produce and greenery in your urban space. Let's talk more about traditional gardening versus urban farming. One of the most notable differences is the space available for cultivation. Urban farming often takes place in confined spaces such as balconies, rooftops, patios, and small backyards. This limited space necessitates innovative growing techniques like vertical gardening, container gardening, and hydroponics to maximize the growing area. For instance, you can set up a vertical garden on a balcony using wall-mounted planters or install a hydroponic system in your living room. Conversely, conventional gardening typically occurs in larger, open areas such as suburban yards or rural farms, where gardeners have ample ground space for planting and can use traditional row planting methods. Due to space constraints, urban farmers often rely on non-traditional growing techniques. Vertical gardening involves growing plants upwards on trellises, walls, or other structures, ideal for climbing plants and herbs. Container gardening uses pots, buckets, and other containers to grow plants, allowing for flexibility and mobility. For example, you might grow tomatoes in a 5-gallon bucket or herbs in small pots on your windowsill. Hydroponics, which involves growing plants in nutrient-rich water solutions without soil, is another popular method in urban settings. In conventional gardening, gardeners primarily use in-ground beds and raised beds, with a focus on utilizing the soil directly for plant growth. Urban farmers frequently face challenges with soil quality and availability. Many urban areas have poor soil conditions, contaminated with pollutants or lacking in essential nutrients. As a result, urban gardeners often use imported soil, raised beds, or soilless growing mediums to ensure a healthy growing environment. For example, you might fill a raised bed with a mix of compost, peat moss, and vermiculite. Water management is also critical in urban farming, where access to water sources may be limited. Techniques like drip irrigation and rainwater harvesting are often employed to make efficient use of water resources. You can set up a rain barrel to collect water from your roof, or use a drip irrigation system to water your plants efficiently. In contrast, conventional gardening benefits from access to natural soil and groundwater. Gardeners in these settings can often rely on the existing soil, enhancing it with compost and other amendments as needed. Watering is typically less of an issue, with easier access to garden hoses, irrigation systems, and natural rainfall. Urban farming has a unique set of environmental impacts compared to conventional gardening. By transforming unused urban spaces into green areas, urban farming can improve air quality, reduce urban heat island effects, and promote biodiversity in cities. For instance, planting a rooftop garden can lower the temperature of the building and provide habitat for pollinators. Additionally, growing food locally reduces the carbon footprint associated with transporting produce from rural farms to urban centers. Conventional gardening, especially on a larger scale, can have a more substantial environmental impact through the use of fertilizers, pesticides, and extensive water resources. However, it also offers opportunities for sustainable practices such as crop rotation, companion planting, and organic farming, which can mitigate negative effects. For example, rotating crops like legumes and leafy greens can improve soil health and reduce pest pressure. Urban farming fosters a strong sense of community and accessibility. Community gardens and urban farms often serve as social hubs where residents can come together, share knowledge, and collaborate on growing food. These spaces provide access to fresh produce for people who may not have the means or space to garden at home, contributing to food security and healthy living. You might join a community garden to grow your vegetables, or participate in a local urban farming workshop to learn new techniques. Conventional gardening, while it can also be community-oriented through farmers markets and garden clubs, tends to be more individualistic. Gardeners in rural or suburban areas often have the luxury of private space, which can limit the collaborative aspect found in urban farming. Urban farming presents unique challenges, including limited space, potential soil contamination, and constraints on water resources. Urban gardeners must be creative and resourceful, using every available inch of space and employing techniques that may be unfamiliar to conventional gardeners. Additionally, urban farmers often face regulatory hurdles, such as zoning laws and building codes, that can restrict where and how they can garden. For example, you might need to check local regulations before setting up a rooftop garden or installing a rainwater harvesting system. Conventional gardening, while benefiting from more space and natural resources, faces challenges such as larger pest populations, wildlife interference, and the need for more extensive maintenance. Gardeners in rural areas may also deal with issues related to larger-scale agriculture, such as soil depletion and the impact of nearby commercial farming operations. Understanding these differences between urban farming and conventional gardening can help gardeners choose the best methods for their specific circumstances, whether they're growing food in a bustling city or a quiet countryside. By adapting techniques and strategies to their unique environments, gardeners can enjoy successful and sustainable growing experiences in any setting. Urban gardening offers a fantastic way to bring nature into your city life, providing fresh produce, a sense of accomplishment, and a greener environment. Whether you're working with a small balcony, a rooftop, or a sunny window, the tips and techniques we've covered today can help you get started and thrive in your urban gardening journey. From choosing the right containers and soil to selecting the best plants and ensuring they get the proper care, every step you take brings you closer to a flourishing urban oasis. Remember, start small, be patient, and enjoy the process of nurturing your plants. As you gain experience and confidence, you can expand your garden and try new techniques. Happy gardening, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your urban gardening experiences in the comments below. Happy gardening!